Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the next session. In this session, we are going to talk about operators in XPath and then we'll talk about methods in XPath. So till now, we have seen the basic syntax of an XPath. We talked about relative XPath, we talked about absolute XPath, we talked about the difference between the two. Then we talked about the dynamic web elements and how to identify those dynamic web elements. So one thing in that I mentioned was that dynamic web elements, searching the dynamic web elements, we need certain operators, methods, and access. So in this session, we are going to talk about operators and methods. In the next session, we will talk about access. So let's start with the operators in XPath. First, there are two operators. One is AND operator and second is OR operator. The difference between two is using AND operator, you can identify elements with a combination of multiple attributes, right? So here you can see an example I have mentioned here. I'll just show you it live. And OR operator is applied when one out of multiple attribute can identify the web element. So let's see some examples. So I'll open one website, let's say this, and then I'll just check its HTML code. So here you can see it is of type input where we have name attribute and then we have other attributes also, right? Like type equal to text, name equal to UID, right? So let's just consider an example that there is another input type of element which instead of type text, it takes radio and name is same. So if such a situation appears, then how will you identify these elements? So let's say I've done a control F here. I'll say / input. So I'll type this word input here. So tag name basically. So / input. You can see there are 4 elements. Now here I'll say at type equal to text. Okay. Though it is giving me one element here also, but as I said, just an example that if you have two different, multiple types of type text and multiple types of name equal to UID, then in that case, you just can use this AND operator and can say at name equal to UID. So what does this AND operator mean? AND operator mean that when this attribute or this condition is true and this condition is true, when both of them are true, then only search for that element. Okay, say for example, if I just check the password, in case of password, the name is password and type is password, right? So if I just say and name equal to password, you will see it is not giving you any element. Why? Because this attribute is matching with something, but this type attribute is not matching with anything, right? But if I change this and to or, okay, you will see there are 2 elements coming now. So what does OR operator do? OR operator means that it matches with the text, matches this as well as this, right? So one element, like here it is showing you 2 elements. So the first element is coming because of this type equal to text, and second element is coming because of this name equal to password. Since we have added or, so if either this matches or this matches, it will give you the element. So these were the operators, some example of operators. Now let's talk about the methods. So there are 3 methods in XPath: contains, text, and starts with. So what does the 3 means? Let's start with text method. Okay. So what does text method says? Text method means that if you're searching for any element which has some text associated with it, and if you're matching the complete text, then uh, it will search for that element. So for example, here I have this label attribute, right, which has this user ID must not be blank. So if I copy this text and here if I say / label and search for an element which has text equal to in single quotes give the value. So here you can see it is giving you that element. So based on what text appears, if you're searching for any element, it is you can do that using text method. Okay, so remember the syntax of text method. It will be text, then double, round bracket start, round bracket close, equal to, and then its value. Okay, so this is first method, that is text, when you're matching any web element using the complete text. Okay, I'll give you a few more examples for this. Say for example, I go to flipkart.com. It's a shopping site in India. So if let's say I want to search any element, let's say here I want to search this spam where it has this word electronics. So how can I do that? So I'll do Control F, /span. You can see 135 spans are coming. So here I'll say text equal to electronics. So you can see it is giving you that one element. So what method we are using here? Text. See, this span does not have anything unique, right? It does not, the classes you cannot use because they have a white space in the classes. We discussed that if a class attribute has white spaces, we cannot use that. Or then we only left with this text. So what you can do to search based on the text appearing on the screen, you can use the text method. Clear? So this was the text method. Then the next method we have is contains. So let's see the contains method. Now contains method is a method which can be used along with text method and different attributes. Let's see what I mean. Say for example, here I say contains what? Text. And then I say, let's say user ID. See, now here I'm not searching with the exact text. Rather, I'm just searching with a partial text. So it says it contains this word as a text, then search for the element. Right? So this is what contains method is. Also, this contains method can be used with other attributes also. So instead of text method, you can use other attributes also. Like I can say contains ID, at ID, comma, in single quotes, just give the text. So see, when I say search me all the labels which contains at ID as message. So here you can see this is the first ID which is appearing, that is message 23. And then if I search again, it will give me another label which has this message, as, the ID as message 18. So this is contains. Contains, you can give an ID or you can give the text method. Okay. Similarly is the starts with. So if I say starts with, so start with, the difference between start with and contains is that contains searches for this text anywhere in the complete text, whereas start with make sure that the, like here if I passed ID, this ID must start with message 18, message basically, right? So if let's say if I take another example, if I say text. So if let's say I use user, then you can see it is giving me a value, right? But if I just use the word must, so it is not giving me any ID element, right? But if I just change it with contains, you will see it has start giving you two IDs because there are two labels which contains this word must. Okay, so these are three methods we have. Text, where it matches the complete text. starts with, which searches for the condition as a start, and third one is contains. So contains searches for any element based on the condition that uh, attribute or that text should appear somewhere in the text in the value. Okay, so these are three methods and two operators. In the next session, we are going to talk about x's, and in further sessions, we are going to talk. Uh, we are going to see a lot of examples over these methods, x's, operators, relative xpath, dynamic xpath, and so on. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next session. Bye bye.